Hey guys, Dan here with Battlefield Curator, and we're gonna talk about why people end up selling their gun collections. You know, being a younger person, you might say, why would somebody want to sell their gun collection? Well, as you get older, there might be some things that come along. With that being said, I think that, we only live on this earth for a short amount of time, and a lot of these collectible relics are kept in collections and curated for just a very small or limited time before they're passed on to another generation or another collection that's in a museum or something where it's curated it could be curated for a very long time. So let's go over some of the reasons here why people would liquidate their collections. But before we get into it, I'd ask you to pulverize that like button and subscribe for the algorithms. It really helps out with the growth of the channel, helps me bounce some ideas off you, and we could share history and share some interesting information. So let's go to reason number one. Some people, they might have amassed a collection of firearms they used to enjoy. They are maybe not so much of a collector, but maybe they're just an enthusiast and a collector. They just like shooting their guns, and maybe they just got too old to shoot them and enjoy them. Maybe they just realized that, hey, their eyesight's getting a little bit worse, or they just don't enjoy them as much. They might have shoulder issues because they're older and they have a hard time getting around, so going to the range is really not as fun of an experience as when it was in their younger years. So yeah, in general, people get old and they might just be too old to fire their weapons anymore. Number two, they're liquidating their assets. Maybe they've accumulated a large collection that's very valuable, and they want to take profits on it and maybe move it into another asset class, or maybe they're just kind of limiting a lot of the assets they have already and their gun collection is part of it, and they're just kind of trying to maybe move that money somewhere else. Maybe they're making too much money and they say, hey, maybe I need to donate my gun collection to a museum to get a tax break. Maybe they even want to sell their gun collection that they've accumulated for so many years and maybe buy some rarer collectible guns. Maybe they want to save that money for an auction for something that's more extremely valuable, maybe like one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunity type guns. They said, hey, I'll just sell this collection and maybe I can buy some of the more collectible and rarer items out there. Maybe some Wyatt Earp gun, or maybe some famous weapon that was used somewhere. So yeah, essentially some people would just want to take the money and use it for something else. All right, so reason number three, life happens. Sadly, some people might get into an accident, or they might get into some trouble where they might get injured. They might end up going to prison. Maybe there was some psychological issues that a person went through, and now they can't own a gun collection anymore. Maybe somebody got cancer, and they want to liquidate the gun collection because the payments on the medical expenses are too high. But either way, it's kind of sad, but we see it happen where people will sell their gun collection because something happened, a life-altering change happened, and they're looking at what they can get some money out of, and they will sell their gun collection for those reasons. All right, and then number four to go along with that is somebody passes away, and the family is left with a grand gun collection, and they don't really know what to do with it. They might keep some for themselves, but a lot of times they might not be set up. A lot of the family members might not be set up to take in such a grand collection of firearms. And it's a huge responsibility, and it's a big burden to maintain all these firearms and these weapons. So maybe they're just going to say, hey, I'm going to send them to auction, or I'll just consign them at a local shop and see what I can get for them. The shop will keep them. They have storage space, and if they do sell, then they'll get some of the proceeds. And then people pass away, and I think, as a gun collector, as a collector in general, I think it's important to, talk to your family about some of these things. Like, what happens if you did pass away and you had to carry, and the family had to take care of your collection, or your family was now responsible for it, and you know that they wouldn't be able to maintain it, they don't really know much about it, give them the resources to say, hey, you know, this gun collection can be sold here at this place, or you need to contact this auction house if it happens, and this will provide you with a little extra money to use to take care of you guys. You know, I mean, you know, when someone passes away, it is part of life happens, but I think it's a separate issue because a lot of times when someone passes away that owned a gun collection, their family is now responsible for it, and their family just really, a lot of times the family doesn't have a clue of what to do. So in that aspect, I think it's important to, you know, write a will, put it in your will, like, hey, you know, Bobby gets, you know, part of the collection, or Jimmy gets this, at least this, you know, or this person is in charge of the collection after I pass away. Something as to that, along those lines, are very important. You know, it's part of the estate planning, and I think, you know, it should be talked about and should be done, especially as you get into your older years. All right, number 5, the change in lifestyle. So let's say somebody, you know, was a gun enthusiast, they lived out in the country, you know, let's say they had a career change, like they had to move to a big city, and there's really nowhere else to go to store these weapons. They know that, you know, they enjoyed them, they have a collection, but they realize, hey, I'm moving to somewhere where I can't maintain a collection anymore. So, you know, they realize that, hey, you know, a lifestyle change, such as a career, they might have to move somewhere where they won't be able to house such a large collection. So maybe they'll get rid of a lot of their collection or most of it. Maybe they'll get rid of a few things, but essentially a career change is part of a lifestyle change. Maybe they made it big in the stock market. Maybe they made it big, you know, winning the lottery or something. And they said, hey, you know, I'm going to be moving somewhere like overseas. Like, I don't want to live here anymore. I want to go to live in Germany, and I need to sell the gun collection. Or maybe they want to, you know, live somewhere where they've always wanted to live, and they don't want to house the gun collection anymore. They said, I might just keep a few and, you know, do what I want. Maybe I'll just buy a Lamborghini. Maybe I'll just, you know, do something different. So, you know, people do what they want to do, and a lifestyle change definitely is something, a reason why people would sell most or all of their gun collection. All right, so those are pretty much the top 5 reasons why I've seen people sell their gun collections. Let me know what you think in the comments. Maybe you know some other reasons why someone may have sold their collection off, or some of their collection off. I'm sure that there's a lot of other things out there that I missed, maybe some smaller reasons why someone might want to sell their gun collection off. And if you like this video, yet again, just be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Be sure to learn history and curate history. Make it a great day.